Have you ever wondered what it's like to live in a city full of superheroes? To literally see people fly across the sky? Crap.
What are you up to, Angus?
Oh, hey, Sal. I'm trying to record an ad for the podcast.
Heroes don't do paperwork?
Yeah, that one.
Need any help?
Yeah, actually. I'm just trying to tell people about the show, about how you and I work at a newspaper in Super City, and how we interview various citizens, from the people we call neighbors to the city's greatest heroes. But I'm having trouble wording it.
You could just use that section you recorded and put that in.
Huh. Yeah, I suppose I could. Thanks, Sal.
Don't worry about it. I'm off to the office supplies store. It got hit with a shrink ray, so everything is 50% off. Want to come?
You know what? I kind of do. For those of you hearing this, if you want to hear more about the thrilling adventures and heroics of Super City, come check out Heroes Don't Do Paperwork on the PodCavern network. All right, let's go.
Welcome to The Constant Struggle. I'm Nick Watson.
And I'm Brie Watson. Happy New Year, Nick.
Happy New Year, Brie. I'm right on top of the mic, so this should be working.
All right. You're using your gear. We're doing a podcast. It's been less than, 6 months since we've done the last one. I think we're doing pretty good. Do you want to, jump in?
Let us jump. Shit, so what are we doing?
Oh, I thought, well, in the last episode, we talked about filling the tank, emptying the tank. And of course, the word of the year. We wanted to talk about that. That's one thing we said we were going to talk about last episode when we announced the new format.
All right. So filling the tank. I don't know how I could have filled the tank so much in the last week.
Did you fill it at all?
Brie, you go for tank filling. I'm going to think about it.
Okay, I took notes down because we have a new format now. So I'm like, which is it speaks to another thing. Maybe I'll jump into that first. Having a new format helps me because my word of the year, are you ready? Should we do the word of the year first? Let's do the word of the year first.
All right, let's go for it. Yeah, because we just did filling the tank last week.
Yeah, but I do have more for filling the tank.
Okay.
I'm so torn. We'll fill the tank. Here we go. I'll fill the tank. What filled my tank this week? I went for a couple little walks, and I had some nice baths. I feel like a walk and a bath is a great way to fill the tank. I end up reflecting a lot. It's a good way to have thoughts that otherwise, if you're too busy doing other things that you can't have because you're too busy focusing on other things. Whereas when you're going for a walk, all of a sudden there's clarity because you're not right in front of a computer or you're not, I don't know, depending on what you're doing, you might not be listening to, I wasn't listening to anything. So it's not like I was hyper focused on anything in particular. So that's when ideas and thoughts flow. Also, filling
so you
the
could
tank.
Be in the moment.
That's right. I like that. Also, I've been rewatching 30 Rock, which I told you about on New Year's Day, and that is filling some tank. I forgot how much I liked that show.
They're impressed of JPM.
It's so good, and they're good jokes. It's not just a good ratio. Anyway. And I find the holidays sleeping in helped me fill some tank because I had been pooped. I was so pooped at the end of the year, so it helped to sleep in a little bit. Also, sad folk music seems to help me as well.
Ooh, older stuff, new folk.
Well, I'm thinking I'll tell you, Wilco that's what it is. Wilco is what is filling it right now.
Chicago vibes.
And also, I keep going back to that one Sad Beck album.
I'm not sure. I don't have a wide knowledge of Beck.
Well, everybody went crazy for Odelay, and I think that's where it stopped for me for a while. But then I don't know there was like one or two songs from the album is called Sea Change, by the way, which was like, it was like a big breakup album apparently. And the music is so like chill and sad, and it's the perfect like drive home music. If you've had like a busy day, or even if you haven't had a busy day, but you just want like a chill, smooth ride home, that Beck album. Although it might make you sad, but I don't mind sad music. I like sad music. Sad bastard music.
I might give it a whirl. Like, I'm not a huge Beck guy, but I do like sad, chill music. Like all human beings.
Well, I don't know. I think some people apparently need happy music to get through the day. Can you believe it?
Oh my God. What are those people doing? Lay off the meth, guys.
So for that, I was like, I think maybe a Where You Are level Beck fan until I went and saw him live, not last year, but the year before. And that kind of blew my mind and got me into wanting to listen to more. It was an amazing show. I was like, it's
Where'd
Beck.
You see him
like
at Molson?
At Budweiser, the amphitheater there.
The beer amphitheater.
That's right. Is it Budweiser now? I don't know who owns it now. Yeah, it's Budweiser now. Anyway, that one. Yeah. Oh, it used to be Molson. I see. Now it's Bud.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it can only be beers.
Well, Dan just sent me this message about how they're putting like warnings and stuff on alcohol, and how alcohol is, they're going to put labels like no amount of, it used to be like, a glass of wine a day is great. But like,
that was by the wine industry's research.
Of course it was. Like, I'm getting bombarded with, I think it's the Cancer Society that's like, go sober for a month. I don't know. I feel like
February is a good month for that.
Why? It's the coldest month of the year.
I know, but it's the shortest.
Right. February is the... I'm just tired of like months where companies or charities, either way, want me to do stuff. Like, can I just donate money to you and will you shut up if I do that? Because I'm not going to do that, let's be honest. Depending on the charity.
Yeah. You might just want to get to a zen-like state of just ignoring them.
How do you do that? How do you ignore things that get under your skin?
If you can, figure out where the annoyance is coming from and see if you could chop that out of your life.
I suppose a lot of it is mindfulness. It's even just like, you're having this reaction to this thing. You really don't need to have reaction to this thing. Just move on.
You could take a beat. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do not practice that at all. I get annoyed all the time.
Yeah, me too. Anyway, yeah, I think like for Instagram is one of the things that is the most annoying, and makes me the most frustrating. So I guess the easiest thing to be would just be like, get off social media. But that's
what I did.
Hard. It's hard. Anyway. Okay, so that's what's based on that, like, even though we only have like a week and maybe some, did my suggestions help spark any ideas as to what fills your tank right now?
You're damn right it did, Brie. Like, immediately into your talk.
Okay, good. Go for it.
Checkmarks has filled my tanks. So, like, coming up with a very simple to-do list. I started for my word of the day, which I'll get into later. And I sent you a couple of photos of it. And I was just ticking some boxes of shit I've achieved for that day, of those days, because what day is this? We're the 4th. So it was 3 days into the new year, and I've got several check marks already. And that's got me focused and kind of fired up to carry on.
You're like into your Bujo phase now.
I think so. Well, I mean, it is not like one single spot. I went out and bought another journal thing today. So I've got one for goal of the year and I've got one for creative.
Nice. Well, that sounds cool.
And
also,
correlated.
I love buying notebooks. I'm not going to lie. I've got so many notebooks that aren't even close to being finished. And I still like to go buy new notebooks. That might be a problem.
Yeah. So I got like 3. Do I have 3? Yeah. No, 2. I got 2 important important ones going forward.
Notebooks.
That I'm going to be using for 2025 and onward.
Nice. Okay, so check
so yeah,
marks are
I went to a local bookstore today, brag. And I was asking if they had any spare notebooks because the only one I could see was a Friends one, like Central Perk. Fuck off. That's not happening. And they said no, they didn't have it. But I went back and looked, and I saw this like Art Deco one of the Flatiron Building in Toronto. You know that one that's like super Instagrammable?
Yeah.
So I picked that up, and that's going to be my writing, I guess just kind of creative stuff. So I'm going to put the podcast in there too.
Nice.
So it's going to be writing, editing, podcastulating. 2
notebooks in which to put your goal tracking.
Goal tracking. That's the ticket. So yeah, that's energized me. So yeah, filling the tank.
Oh, that's good. Okay. And now you've given me something to, like, when we meet next, I can ask you about it. I could be like, how's this going? And then you can either be like, I'm still fired up about it. Or you could be like, yay.
Oh, like a follow-up on filling the tank?
Yeah.
Oh, that
and that
feels
way,
like
even
it
if
should
we're
be
feeling like, look at that. And then like later, if you're like, oh, my tank is so empty, we could go back and be like, well, these are things that filled it in the past. Go back to those things. Look at this. We're figuring it out.
And if it works, we can pass on the savings to you.
What about emptying the tank? It's only been a week and a half or whatever. Or what's draining, I guess, not emptying. What's draining it? What did you say? Oh, yes, the constant.
You mean a constant struggle?
Yes. Yes, the name of the podcast.
Let's see. I had ye old... the demons were coming up. The I can't do this demons. The
I was going to talk about negative self-talk. Look at this.
Yeah, those guys.
We both have the same demons. I was
so
like,
they showed up,
I'm
and
going to go and I'm going to feel vulnerable in this podcast today, and I'm going to talk about negative self-talk.
Well, I mean, like this whole deal is about the constant struggle. It's getting you through it, right?
Yeah, but sometimes it's hard, right? I mean, sometimes it's hard to be like, I'm going to share some of the most challenging things about the creative process, about life, right? To a bunch of people who, only one person will reach out about it. Other people have no idea if they've... I guess that's it. It's like, who cares?
Thanks, Dan.
Yeah, just Dan Rosen's listening. Hi, Dan. Miss you.
Dan's my official audience when I think about it from now on.
Oh, Dan's our target audience? I love it.
Yes.
Speaking of you, Dan.
Why not? He gets back to you. He raises questions about the pod like David Foster Wallace. I'm on board, Dan. It is good reading. But seriously, though, it is not easy reading, though. That's my point.
Oh, you've gone back to
that's
the book.
Not a negative. It's an experience.
Yeah, not everything to be enjoyable is easy.
No, heaven forbid. Some people, yes.
Okay.
It depends.
I guess it depends on the thing.
Right?
It depends what you're. Yeah, exactly. Sometimes easy things are a lot of fun.
Let's not poo-poo the easy.
No, but also let's not poo-poo the challenging.
Very much no poo-pooing that.
Except challenging.
We're not having any fiber with that. We're holding that shit in.
Oh no, this is bad. This is bad advice. Don't hold the shit in. Get it out. Can I tell? Okay, you're talking about the demons. Go into that a little bit.
Oh, well, I mean, they didn't last long because I don't know. Sometimes I could just sit through the demons and just go, all right, I hear you. Shut up. And I got to get to work. Right. Mm-hmm. But I found I don't know how it worked, but it's working. So I'm sticking with it. I lit a candle up in this office and I get the heat going with my little R2D2 looking heater, more BB-8, honestly. And it just created a super comfy place. I put some nice, no lyrics music on in the background. Mm-hmm. And it felt comfortable being in here, just reading my stuff, which you got to do as part of editing.
I feel like that would be like
And-
a big percentage of it is just like, if you have to do this work in a place, in an environment that isn't comfortable, then you're not going to want to be there. So yeah, making
Exactly.
it appealing would be a huge part of it. Also saw or read something or heard something on a podcast I was listening to about like the ritual of a candle, like lighting a candle is like, okay, great. This thing is lit. It's burning. Now it's my turn to like, it can be part of your ritual. As long as that thing's lit, I'm going to keep working, and then just
Yeah, it's
blowing
like
it out
bringing-
after you're done.
It's a special kind of light you're bringing to the joint.
Warmth.
So I went out and bought a couple scented candles today.
Oh man, you are talking my notebooks and candles. Are we the same person?
Let's go, Brie. Brie, I got this sick candle. It looks like, do you know those containers of maple syrup? The ones that are
Yes.
in a tin can?
Yeah, I
It's
know
that.
exactly what you're
But
talking
guess what's
about.
inside instead of maple syrup? It's a maple candle.
Is maple candle smell good?
Well, it smells like maple syrup. So yes.
I'm a big fan of anything that smells like a fir tree.
Oh,
That's
okay.
my brand of candle.
So I got mahogany vanilla is the scent right now.
Very rich. One thing that is emptying my tank is, and it's gross. I was afraid of talking about it, but here I am. Jelly Bean has fleas. And I don't know if you
Aw.
remember. I don't know if you remember from childhood, but when a cat gets fleas, those fleas love me just as much as they like the cats. So my ankles are wrecked right now, and it's not. It's just like
ew.
the amount, I don't know, histamine response to like. Some people can get bit by something and it's not bad, but for me with fleas and mosquitoes, like it gets itchy. So like. I think the amount of energy it's taking me to both scratch or not scratch flea bites. It's just a small, other than the negative self-talk and the overthinking that we were talking about a second ago. Right now, like the fleas are dry. And I've given her medicine, but I think we started giving it to her a little bit too late. So that's why there were so many fleas in the first place. I also think we're in a new place and maybe the people who were here before had a pet maybe, and maybe the fleas are coming back now anyway with a vengeance.
But it's dormant.
I don't know, or maybe she goes
They lie in
outside
wait.
too.
Yeah.
Jelly goes outside anyway, so she seems to be doing better, which hopefully will translate to me doing better soon. But oh man,
Yeah,
like,
and if you're
I
having
had to apologize. I went for
that stuff makes you sleepy.
Yeah, I can't do that or I'll fall asleep. So I just have like scabs all over my legs right now from scratching like crazy. I had to go to
There you go.
I went to a massage. I went to get a massage, which was one way to fill the tank, by the way. A very nice way to fill the tank. And I was like, pay no attention to all the flea bites. She's like, that looks really uncomfortable.
for sure.
I was like, yes, I am. I am uncomfortable. It's very itchy. So anyway, if anybody has some good solutions for fleas, other than the medication that I'm giving the cat, let me know.
Does she have a flea collar?
No, it's the medicine
Is that still
is
a
good.
thing?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Probably not. We probably found out they're terribly like painful or nerve damaging or something. Okay, Nick, let's talk about our word of the year.
Oh my God. The whole reason why we ostensibly had this podcast.
That's right. What's yours?
All right, Brie. My word is golf.
Ba, ba, ba. Oh, oops. My horns might have. Ba, 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 ba. Say it now.
Golf.
Golf? How is golf a
Golf,
word
Brie.
of the year?
The
Explain.
most creative of all sports.
Most of the time, a word of the year, I told you I was going to do this too. Most of the time, a word of the year is like something that informs your values, like persistence.
Are you pretending that golf has no system of values and honor?
Well, I don't know. You tell me how golf could be a word of the year similar to abundance or something like that.
Fart noise to that, unless it's an abundance of golf.
Okay, go on. Explain.
Yeah. So I need to get myself into a healthy position where I can golf without worrying about pain. So I'm using it as a driver to work on my back every day. I'm gonna I've got my stretches that I was given by my physio a couple years ago when my back went out royally, and I just want to apply it every day for at least a month. And then in February, I'm going to look up different exercises so that I can get rotation going for the golf swing and get that done for a month. And then in March, I've got this YouTube guy who gives golf lessons. He's got a 30-day thingy. So if I could do that for March and not have pain, then great. By April, I can hit a golf range.
How does, it's the constant struggle, but it's about our artistic struggles. How does golf,
yes,
as the key word of the year, impact this artistic part of your journey?
Right. So, I mean, other than golf being a great way to go clear your brain, much like your walking spree, it's more about keeping the body pain-free is the big one, number one for me, because that's a huge drainer, right? And if you're healthy, then that's a filling the tank. So it's double whammy, what's it? The negative, the opposite end of the bad spiral.
Right.
Shit.
I know I see the image.
It's a virtuous cycle. There you go.
Oh. Okay. Real quick.
Yeah.
This reminds me of watch Curb. I love Curb. Larry David, big golfer. There's a great episode where he gets a Theragun, and he doesn't get it. He gets it it doesn't matter. But I also got a Theragun for Christmas, which is another way to fill the tank. Love a Theragun.
Okay.
It's the those little machines that feel like they're punching your muscles. Ugh, it's so good.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Anyway,
those are great. I've got one.
Departure. Okay, golf. That's your word of the year.
Yep.
This is the first time. Oh, go ahead.
And I'm cribbing all the daily checklists for golf and going to be applying it to my creative stuff too.
Have you gone back to work yet?
Nope. Monday.
Okay. I'm interested to see how you keep it going once you're back in the flow of work too.
Right? Yeah, I know. It's going to be huge.
Okay. For me,
all right,
are you
what's
interested?
your word then, Brie?
This is the first time my word of the year was suggested by somebody else. And that somebody else is Dan, so my husband, which I feel like makes it okay. I was like, what do you think? Because I was having a hard time with it. My word of the year is structure.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Because I think he notices when I get flustered. Or I also feel like since the pandemic, I have let structure fly away because during the time where I wasn't working, for anybody else, things were quite loosey-goosey. But now if I want to accomplish the things that I want to accomplish, I can't just hope that I'll find time to do the thing, Yeah. I have to, and then even by making time to do the thing, you end up losing the ability to find time to do the other things that are important in life. The simple things like, oh my goodness, making your bed, not living in a shit sty, things like that. So that's structure is what I'm going for this year. I'm going to look for tools. I'm going to really work my Google Calendar. I'm going to look for tools for finding better. Originally I was toying with the word discipline, but that sounded too harsh. I was like, I don't want, but Dan was like, they're synonymous. I'm like, not really, but close enough. I like structure better than discipline.
I like structure because it also fits in with creativity. Like you need structure in your stories.
Mm-hmm.
That was huge for me for my writing. And for joke writing, you need good structure.
For improv, you need structure.
Yeah.
A long form.
I mean, everyone thinks
structure.
it's just loosey-goosey out there, but you ask Harold about his structure.
Exactly. Harold has a nice complicated structure. Actually, it's not complicated, but it is incredibly structured, which I think I love about
creativity
it.
plus structure equals art.
Yeah.
Boom.
Ooh. We found the name of the episode. All right, Nick. So we're going to reconnect in, a couple weeks and see where we're going on this, on both of these big words of the year.
It's bold. I like it.
Good luck with golf.
Oh, thank you. And may your structure be both rigid and forgiving.
I like that.
Right? Your structure needs to be like Japanese architecture.
They're
on. Built huge and impressive, but able to withstand large earthquakes.
I like that. I'm going to find a picture of a cool Japanese building.
Dude, you should look into their infrastructure. It's impressive.
Well, let's just go to Japan. Struggle Pod goes to Japan.
Oh, hell yeah.